Well, we've made it to week 3. I'm excited about our traveling together and all that we're learning from one another. You're such a blessing to work with in class. I'm learning much from your post. I'm encouraged by your enthusiasm for the topic of leadership. And so as we come to week 3, we're looking at the question, what do strong teams look like? And I think it would be important for us to examine perhaps the leadership team of which we're a part in our local church or our local ministry, and ask ourselves, are we a strong team? And if so, what are the characteristics that make us that? Or if we're not, what is it that keeps us from being a strong team? Jeremy Couch suggests that strong teams have several things in common, and you'll again find this on Blackboard at the beginning of week 3. And he lists these very succinctly. Number 1, diverse personalities. We hear a lot about diversity and how important that is in a lot of different areas. I think in the area of leadership and the makeup of teams, diversity is a very good thing when it comes to a diversity of personalities. I don't know if you've ever dealt with a finance committee within your church that was made up of only accountants. It's not a very good thing. It's always great to have at least one accountant on a finance committee, but not 7 accountants on a finance committee. So diversity is a wonderful thing. The second thing that he suggests to us, Couch does, is mutual trust. And I've found that trust is very important in teaming or being on a team or any kind of leadership group. And Edmondson draws deeply on that as well, talking about the necessity to develop trust. And it is difficult to lead or to be part of a leadership team when there is distrust among the members. So mutual trust is very important. Number 3, healthy conflict. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having some good conflict. By definition, when we think about the field of education, education is a conflict of ideas, and it's only when we have that ability to interact with what we believe and what someone else believes from a different standpoint that we're able to wrestle with that and to come to some consensus or to really find the truth that we're looking for. And so when we're involved in leading, conflict is a good thing when it is controlled and we understand what the conflict is and that it is a good thing. It can be a good thing when kept in check. And so I hope that you will not be one of these who will do anything at all costs to prevent conflict, because when we do, we're not really leading. The fourth thing that he says is that there should be role clarity. And I think that's pretty self-understanding, is that we all need to know what our role is on the team. His next idea is that there should be high productivity. When we're involved in team and when we're involved in leading, the end goal is to produce something. And so productivity is very important. The other thing that he says, and finally, is that we should have fun. It should be fun to be on the team. It should be fun to be involved in leadership. It should be fun to be part of a group that is trying to affect change in some kind of culture, whether it be out in the world or even within the church, that we should have fun in doing the work that God has called us to do. And so I hope that you'll enjoy reading those and read the fine detail on each one of those points by Couch, and I think it'll be helpful to you as we look at this whole idea of what do strong teams look like. This week's assignments are pretty simple. We have some reading to do, we have a video to watch, those kinds of things. We're going to be looking at Crosby, pages 127 through 174, and then again at pages 79 through 91. Edmondson is going to speak to us from pages 45 through 82 and pages 115 through pages 148. We're going to look at Osborne, pages 73 through 86, and then we have a couple of activities that we are going to be completing. There's also an opportunity this week for it's actually an optional activity, but plan to do a Collaborate session. I don't know how many of you have been involved in using Collaborate on Blackboard, but it's a great opportunity for us to get to know each other just a little bit better, give you opportunity to ask questions, and also to share your ideas about the study that we're involved in. And so you can read more about that information this week, but we do plan to offer that. It is not something that's required, but it is optional. Let's look at our activities for the week. Learning Activity 5, we're going to be practicing some critical thinking. Critical thinking is a wonderful thing when we practice it. It's not such a wonderful thing when we don't. And so we want to practice thinking critically. This activity is broken down into 3 parts. The first part is to watch the YouTube video at the link that is given. It's called Shared Leadership in Teams. And I want you to identify characteristics of strong teams that are suggested in the film. Then I want you to apply your knowledge. I want you to identify the 6 things every leadership team needs to know. And those will come from Osborne, and you should recognize those from your reading. And then the third part is to compare the 2 lists and identify at least one representative leader who exemplifies each attribute. How are each of these characteristics or actions present in your local church ministry? And so what will happen is, as you identify these 2 lists, as you put them together and compare them, and you find representatives of each of these. So if you identify 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 of these characteristics, then identify at least one person who exemplifies each of these characteristics. And then you can also tell us a little bit about why you chose that person. Perhaps it's someone in your current ministry, someone that was a mentor to you, or someone that you've known or read about even, that perhaps you've not even met. Our next learning activity, number 6, is a lot of fun, and it's something that I enjoy doing, and that is surfing the net. And so for this time, your spouse, you can tell them that you're doing homework when you're surfing the net, what might seem to be aimlessly. But locate online resources such as blogs, podcasts, videos, audio recordings, documents, or other resources that represent the attributes of a strong team. And I want you to post the links to these resources to this forum for review by your classmates. I have enjoyed this all of the 6 years or so that I've taught this course. As I read these, I enjoy clicking on them, seeing what's there, and then compiling a master list of some of the best resources that I believe are on the internet that relate to leadership, and particularly the characteristics of great leaders. I love lists, and I've compiled quite a long list of some of these, and so I look forward to what you're going to share with us so that we can utilize that together in the days ahead as we continue to lead in our local ministries, because that's really what this course and this degree of Doctor of Ministry is really all about, and that is our local ministry in our local church. I hope that you have a great week. I hope you enjoy the reading. I hope you enjoy the posting and the interaction with each other. And as always, if you need me, you know how to contact me. Have a great week.